Hello and welcome to this little yin series. We're just going to come into a really gentle practice, holding our postures for 2 to 3 minutes. This really allows for the fascia to soften, our connective tissue to become more like a liquid substance rather than a hard gel. So our muscles and bones, tissues can be able to be more supple so we can move more fluidly in our bodies. It is a really beautiful practice to add to our Yang Yoga practices, vinyasa, etc. And it's just a chance to get into the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing for our body some rest, digest, and also just calming the mind. So we want to come into each posture, coming to our edge, and we don't want to go past that edge since we are holding for a longer period of time than normal. So I will guide you through. We have some hip openings, we have some twists, and I just invite you to allow this to be like a meditative state where we hold our postures. And sometimes when we sit in these poses for longer periods of time, just like anything we do, if we're not busy on our phones or busy doing something, attaining a goal, sometimes for me, especially for a lot of people, it can be harder to calm the mind. So I invite you just to, when thoughts come, let them come. We're not going to run away with them, but we'll just come back to our breath and be in the moment as best as we can. Yeah. So let's get started. I have a bolster today and a block. If you don't have these, that's totally okay. I would suggest maybe if you could find a pillow, grabbing a pillow or a few blankets, a few blankets folded if you have around the house. So let's get started in a beautiful position on our mats. We'll just have our legs bent and starting in Sukhasana, an easy pose. Let's just take a few big breaths. Maybe starting to close down the eyes. Exhale. Maybe making an audible sound, opening the mouth. Just dropping in, inhaling. Exhaling, bring your breath somewhere it maybe hasn't gone yet today. Letting what you have to do after practice and what has already happened before practice fade away in the background as we just come into our breath and come into these still movements. So first we're going to lie on our backs. We're going to bring our bolster, blankets, our pillow underneath the spine. We're just going to bring the bolster underneath to meet the low back. And then we're going to allow for the spine to melt, shoulder blades to melt either side. Opening your arms, palms can be up or down or somewhere on the body that feels nice. Now we have a couple of options here. If you'd like, you can come to bring your knees together, feet as wide as the mat. Or if you want to go in more of a hip opening, you can come to Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. So your choice. Today I'm going to opt for knees in towards one another, really gentle. Taking a few big breaths. And then just allowing for the breath to become natural, to become soft. Maybe closing down the eyes, softening the forehead, softening the cheeks, the eyeballs, the jaw, letting it drop. And allow for when you inhale, belly to rise and ribs to expand naturally. And on the inhale, bringing that breath nice and deep And then fully emptying out the lungs on the exhale. You can start by breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, or using your soft ujjayi in through the nose, out through the nose, keeping your lips soft. So we find where we want to go, Supta Baddha Konasana, our knees together, feet apart, and then we find stillness. Stillness of our physical body, our mental body. Knowing that right now is not the time to solve anything, to make stories of anything, but just to be in your body, just to be still in your body. It's amazing what can come up, different emotions, different insights. There's no force, only just allowing. Yin is the feminine quality of receptiveness and allowing just to surrender. Being with your breath, being with your body, and maybe you'd like to ask your body a question. And then not forcing an answer, but just letting it come if it comes, when it comes. And if a question isn't what your body is craving, maybe sending some gratitude somewhere, some love from you to you. Allowing for the back of the heart to become heavier on the support beneath you with every exhale. Allowing for expansiveness on every inhale. Staying for a little longer. You can always pause the video and stay a little longer in any of the poses if that feels good. A few more breaths here. Just letting the teeth fall apart, letting the softness of your cheeks, allowing for softness of the tongue. Let's take 3 big breaths together. Long inhalations for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. This time we'll inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top, imagining a beautiful golden light like the sun. Come over your heart, and as you exhale, letting this golden light just dissipate through every cell, bone, muscle. Softening the brain, the face, the heart, the belly. On an inhale, we'll press the palms onto the mat, slowly lifting the body up, nice and gentle. And then we'll just take whatever bolster, or blankets, or pillows, bringing them underneath the low back now. We're gonna come up into waterfall, Viparani Karani, or you can have feet up against the wall. I don't have a wall in the space to put my legs up on. So I'm just gonna come onto an elevation here with the hips. And then I'm going to lift my legs up. If you have a strap, that's really helpful as well. If you want to go a little deeper, you can grab hold of the toes or sides of the feet. Just be mindful that you're not dragging your shoulders up, that your shoulders are relaxed, arms are relaxed. Back of the heart is on the mat, and we're just bringing the soles of our feet up towards the sky. If you're not able to hold on to the toes or you don't have a strap, you can also just point the toes up. Yeah, we're just allowing for the blood to flow freely. We're on our feet often all day. This can feel really good. Letting the blood flow. And then again, just coming into your breath. If you want to place hands somewhere on the body, or if you want to keep them on the floor beside you, palms up or down, just choosing where you like to go. You can even bring your hands up overhead if that feels nice. Just choosing where you'd like to stay, what feels good in the body. And then staying there, finding stillness in whatever you choose. Knowing if there's any pain, of course, you can move out. But just noticing why we move. Sometimes we move through life doing all kinds of things, and at the end of the day or at the end of the week, we're like, what have we even accomplished by rushing around and doing so many things? So just being an opportunity just to be intentional. Making whatever positions you want to place your hands, making it be authentic to wherever you are today. If the knees need to be slightly bent, that's totally cool. Just letting them float in space. That little elevation of the hips feels really nice for the low back. And then just finding your breath natural. Again, softening the face, the jaw, the neck, the throat. Allowing for the muscles on the legs just to fall away from the bone. And finding your stillness. Breathing through whatever thoughts, judgments may come up. Not pushing them away and not following them. Just letting them be what they are. Just continuing to breathe here. Really nice. Staying for 3 more breaths. You can always stop the video and continue. Or we'll take 3 big inhales, letting the belly rise, ribcage expand. Exhale, release. 2 more, big inhale. Inhaling from the tips of the toes down to the crown of the head. reaching the energy, the infinite possibilities up from the sky. Inhaling them in through the legs as a vessel. Exhale, melting the bone away, melting the muscle away from bone rather. On an inhale, you can slowly bring the knees in, give yourself a hug, maybe rocking side to side. Staying elevated here. We're gonna come into an elevated happy baby. First, let's just take a couple of breaths. Open the legs up wide. Hands can come to the side, overhead, or on body. Finding your breath. When you're ready, we'll rebend the knees, bring them in. So happy baby will stay elevated. If this doesn't feel good elevated, you can release the elevation and just bring the low back to the mat. Or we're going to bring our hands through. We're going to either grab ankles, shins, whatever is accessible, or if you want to come into your full happy baby, grabbing hold of the edges of the feet, allowing for the soles of the feet to look up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, finding a few rocks. And then just finding a space, so either on the edges of the feet or the ankles or shins, finding your edge. So finding a space that's comfortable. It doesn't feel painful, but you can still feel sensation. Once you feel the sensation, don't go over that. That's your edge. Finding your space, finding your sweet spot, letting the shoulders melt away, letting the head be heavy on the mat. And then let's find some stillness here together. As we're opening up the hips, we may be opening up different pathways, different emotions might be coming up to the surface. Oftentimes when big emotions come up, we like to sometimes run away from them, numb them, save them for another time. And this is the opportunity to just be wherever you are, feel whatever you feel, and just allow it to be there, not making any meaning of it. Breathing in to your hips or into any sensation that you may feel deeply. Inhaling, let the sensation rise, expand, become potent, and as you exhale, use your exhale like a wave washing away, allowing for the energy to move. As we find this beautiful stillness, softening the face, softening the jaw, the throat. Maybe finding some sounding. Our hips and our throat are very connected. So when our hips are tight, often we find it hard to fully express what we need to say out of our throat chakra. Can you bring love to any of these sensations, whether physical or emotional? Sending them love. Or maybe just sending them compassion. Or maybe just sending them some curiosity. Let's stay together for a few more breaths. Let's find 3 more big inhales. Exhale, release. Let go. Fall heavy on your mat even further. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, release. 1 more. Let this be your biggest breath yet today of your practice. Breathing into any deep sensation and exhaling. Letting that sensation move and dissipate. Slowly, we'll start to release the hands. Bring the knees together, rock side to side. Good. Let's place the soles of the feet on the mat, and then we'll just start to raise the hips nice and gently. Remove any props from underneath us. I'm just going to move my bolster. Bring the low back down. And then just finding a few windshield wipes with my knees from side to side. Letting out any sounds. Good. And then from here, we're going to come into just an easy twist. I'm going to put a bolster in between the legs. It makes it a little more gentle, a little more yin, but you can also just bring your knees on top of one another, open the arms, then if the neck allows, look over to your left fingertips. So we'll bring our knees over to the right. Good. Relaxing the toes, the tops of the feet, the shins, the calves, letting the muscle melt away from the bone. Finding a beautiful twist in the side body. Twisting through the left side, the side of our spleen. Responsible for any feelings of feeling like we are a victim in our lives. And as we inhale, just finding ourselves even deeply more grounded. And as you exhale, twisting even deeper. Twisting out any feelings of being a victim and not taking full responsibility, knowing that you have the power to take full responsibility in your life, whatever has happened. Not sending out blame to others or to situations, but taking full responsibility with what you know now, with what you have now. We can take responsibility for all aspects of life. We can really take our power back, regain our power so that anything is possible. Big inhale, and as you exhale and twist, like we're wringing out a dirty dish sponge, cleansing out the organs here on the left side. Just letting the breath be soft. Noticing if we're holding on to the thighs, the inner thighs, the hips, the belly, and just letting it go. Only thing you need to do is breathe. Let's take 3 more big inhales and exhales, filling up completely on the inhale, emptying completely on the exhale. On an inhale, looking over back to the right, bringing the legs back up to center. Good, and you can just move your prop out of the way for a moment and find those windshield wipes of the legs, left to right. Maybe if it feels good, just kicking out the legs, giving a little tap on the inner thighs. And then when you're ready, we'll just go right over to the other side. So taking your props in between the legs, if that feels right on this side. Feels really good for the low back, a little more support. And then finding where you'd like to stay, finding your comfort. Big inhale. As you exhale, you can gaze over to the right fingertips and maybe closing down the eyes. Finding our twist in the right side more deeply this time, where our liver is, where we have any anger stored energetically in the organs. Just breathing into any sensations or any anger that we may be holding on to, or consciously or subconsciously, and just breathing in here. Knowing that you have the ability to react or respond with love in any situation, anything that has happened to you, or that have done to yourself, that has made you feel angry, the sensation of anger, the emotion of anger. Just twisting out some of that aggression. As you inhale, we get heavier, and as we exhale, like a wave, our breath washes away some of that anger that we may be holding inside of our bodies. Knowing that anger is a beautiful emotion if we tend to it, if we understand it, understand why we're angry. And then not letting that anger control us within our reactions. But giving it some attention and some curiosity and sending it some love so that we can respond with love before anger and understand the root cause of our anger. As you twist, just letting some of that anger, aggression maybe fall away, wash away, dissipate with your breath. As you send some love over to your right side. Just breathing naturally here. Again, you can pause this at any time if you want to stay longer. If not, we're going to breathe for 3 more breaths. Big inhale. Exhaling. Imagining that dirty dish rag just wringing out on the exhale as we twist and detoxify the right side of the body. Let's take one more big breath, full inhalation, full exhalation. Slowly on an inhale, we'll come up. I'm going to bring my bolster underneath my legs, underneath my knees, as we come into Shavasana, allowing for the knees to fall to either side of the room. Legs are nice and wide, arms out. Having this little elevation under the knees is nice for the low back. Allowing for the body to completely melt. Let's take one more big inhale together. Imagining a beautiful golden light once more with lots of love and acceptance. And as you exhale, letting that golden sun full of love and acceptance and curiosity for yourself just pour throughout every muscle, softening even deeper to the whole body system. You can stay longer again, or starting to rock the head back and forth. Bringing the knees up and over to one side, coming into fetal position for a moment. Thanking yourself for coming into some presence with your body, coming into some stillness and slowness, and using that top arm, we can start to press up. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope that helped you get into your bodies a little bit more than when you started the practice. And I hope you have a beautiful evening, day, or week, year, life. I'll see you again soon. Sending you so much love. Mwah.